C News Radio.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
All right, it is Coffee Ann here on ON, AM, and FM. It's Wednesday morning. It's December 14th. Thanks for joining us. My name is Joe Callahan. Full Coffee Ann panel today on a Wednesday. First time we've had all three in quite a while. Tim Draper's here from Navigant Credit Union. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Joe.
Nice of you to spend a couple hours yesterday and now another few hours with us today.
Slept at Dave's last night, so
Yeah?
really it was
Nice.
a short commute.
All right, very good. And Melissa Smith from the St. Antoine Communities. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning, everybody.
And John Ward, Woonsocket City Councilor is here. Ça va, right?
Ça va bien.
I went to my parent-teacher conference with my daughter's French teacher, and he told me that's how you respond.
Oh.
when they say ça va,
All
you
right, Joe,
say it back.
if
That's all I got, John.
people start speaking to you in French, all you have to remember to say
What?
is "Je ne parle pas français."
Oh, I don't speak French?
Exactly.
There you go. Very good.
Well, apparently you did.
You sound so
That's right.
official.
So French.
So French.
Mom's from.
Oui, oui.
from
You've
a
got the
French
right amount of
community.
phlegm, the right amount of like.
I can even roll my arm.
All right. Melissa, it's time for your first message from the St. Antoine Communities, our segment sponsor of Coffee Inn.
Yep.
Right
So
now.
for those of you that don't know a lot about St. Antoine Community, we are a large long-term care campus located in North Smithfield, and we're on the line of Blackstone, Mass. and Woonsocket. And on our property, we offer an expansive continuum of services that range from assisted living to short and long-term skilled care. We have a state-of-the-art rehab center, a large hospice suite, as well as a large secured memory care unit. And the two buildings on our property are the Villa at St. Antoine, which is our 76-apartment assisted living facility, and the Residence at St. Antoine, which is our 180-bed short and long-term skilled care facility. So if you are presently at a crossroads with your loved one and trying to determine the right time to seek more help and support, I encourage you to reach out to me. I'd be happy to walk you through your options. You can reach me at 401-767-3500 or email me at msmith@santantoine.net. Thank you.
Okay, Melissa, thank you very much. Now, before we jump into everything else, Melissa does not know about this. So for the third week in a row, Taylor Swift, Melissa.
Uh-oh.
Because it just
so
keeps
over it.
it just
I'm
keeps
so over
coming
it.
up. No,
It's-
the possibility.
You're reopening the wound.
I
I already know what
I
you're
am.
going to say,
But the
and we didn't
possibility-
get the email. So
no,
I'm just...
you're not part of the privileged, the special people that got the extra special list that were able to go on and buy. Your
No,
daughters must be
I'm
very
not.
bummed out about
Yeah,
the whole thing.
I didn't even tell them.
Have you considered
Well-
becoming a plaintiff?
That's right. There's that huge lawsuit.
At
That's
this
right.
point, I'm advocating for all the drive-throughs, drive-ins, movie theaters to
to
do a
show
live
them.
stream concert feed from Gillette. Charge. I don't even care if you charge me $100, $200 a
you go.
car.
Oh.
Put us in an
Talk to
atmosphere
the people
that
running
I
the-
can
talk to the people
tailgate.
running the stadium. Drop the screen down and get it
Oh.
done.
But I like
You
the idea
heard
of the
it here on
outside. You can go-
WOON.
You can go down to 146 here in North
I'm
Smithfield.
telling you,
When's the
Mendon.
concert?
There's another
It's
location.
in May, late May.
Oh, that's
Like
not
May, it's a
bad.
perfect time.
Yeah. It is
We'd
a
be
perfect
outside anyways at Gillette.
Yeah.
I'm just saying some atmosphere where it's, not
It's
me
been-
hosting it in my backyard, which I've already thrown out there to my girls that I'd be willing to do, for people we know, not for the general
Oh,
public.
not for us. Oh, I see how this
You could
goes.
sell
For the
tickets.
general public.
I can sell
Oh,
I
tickets.
could sell. I could pay for my kitchen.
that would be illegal, I bet.
probably.
You can't do that.
Probably.
But it's been done before at other drive-ins around the
I
around
feel like
the
it has
country.
been, and I think with Metallica, didn't they do a concert during the pandemic? There were some concerts that were live streamed
theaters.
Yes.
in the drive-in.
No, at drive-ins.
In the drive-ins.
Jimmy Buffett did one.
Jimmy Buffett did. Dave Matthews, did they do one?
I'm not sure. I think Dead and Company did one.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the others. Though.
What if you had a party that you charged for something else other than the concert, but just happened to throw that concert on while you were there?
I don't see how it's any different than
cover charge
people
for the food.
pitching in for
That's
pay-per-view.
right.
Don't people have pay-per-view parties for wrestling matches and
Yes, but it's still
think
illegal
something
to do
fighting-
that. If you say
Is
I'm
it?
collecting money for you to sit and watch the entertainment portion,
Well,
like the
who the heck
WWE
would-
is not getting any money for that, so it's illegal. But if you say no, I'm charging for the beer or the sodas
Oh,
or the
yeah,
drink
yeah.
or the
Yep.
food,
There you go.
and that's free. I mean, I don't know how do you prove it.
Well, that's
It's
the
a
kind of
genius
hostess I am. I'm going to charge you for that bag of smart food popcorn that you're eating.
That'll be $50.
I'll only charge you $3 for the can of beer, and you
Yeah.
can watch the show.
Yeah, so that's free.
To the teenage
All right,
girls that are
so-
coming to Melissa's house.
So I didn't know if you were gonna if you made the special list, if you even
I did
tried.
not make the special list.
Because I know
No. But
Ticketmaster
thank
is
you.
selling them
Thank you.
more.
I thought for
Taylor
sure
Swift.
you would have made that special list.
Sorry about that. So this was brought up off air, so I just wanted to bring it up so we can talk about it on air. To John, St. Joseph's Church made a donation
Yes,
to
they
the
did.
city of Woonsocket of $25,000.
Yes.
Is it earmarked for something
It's
specific?
specifically earmarked for purchase and installation of a misting station or a cooling station that they sell. Often Roger Williams Park has some, other places have them. It's nothing more than a pipe connected to a water source, so in the hot summer, kids can go up and push a button and a mist of water will come out for a set amount of time.
Where will this be installed?
If it's installed, it would be, they said that it would be installed for Dunn Park. I had brought this up some time ago when they were finishing the playground area as a thought, because the kids that live up in the Fairmount area don't necessarily have easy access to World War II splash park. But it would give them an opportunity to cool off in the summer.
Sure.
And just for the hot summer, nothing extraordinary. And hook it up to the city water system, and it has its own timers and mechanical systems.
And filters?
And filters.
Gotta have the
Well,
clean
you're using
water.
tap water off the line.
Oh,
so
well, then it's
it doesn't
already all
require any
set.
kind of filtration.
For the kids that are
really.
going to sit there at the
You
mister with
just
their
tie
mouth
it-
open,
yeah.
drinking it.
No, this isn't recycled water. It's
Oh,
just,
okay.
It's just, it's a mist. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily a constant flow of water. It's got a timer, and it's just going to drop cool mist on
So
them.
does the city council have to approve all of this? And
Not really, no.
no?
It's a grant from the church.
Okay.
And so it's dedicated for that use, and it can only be used for that use.
Get it
So
in this
it's
spring?
just a matter of getting it done.
Can it be in by springtime or summer?
And frankly, it'll be entirely up to the administration.
Okay. So, well, that was awful nice of St. Joseph's Church to
It
donate
is. It was
that.
very nice of them, and I think it was part of the sort of a handshake that came with buying up All Saints Parish property, because they, that was negotiated, and they were happy to be able to get the property off their hands. The church has sold Sacred Heart Parish, and it's being developed into housing. All Saints is still being discussed as to what will go there, but the church is finding a way to push off properties that they're not using any longer. So
Okay.
they appreciated it, and they
Yeah.
donated $25,000 to a specific purpose.
Excellent. All right. Melissa wanted to bring this up as well. The extraordinarily high cases of flu that you
Oh,
have
did I
noticed.
want to bring
And-
that up?
well,
Well,
also-
we all
had
showed
it-
up 10 minutes early and had conversations that are now spilling right
That's
into
how it
the
works.
show.
Now we've had it on the news, and it's the big three.
Yeah.
We got the flu cases, we got RSV, and we got COVID, all converging at the time that Christmas is coming, where everyone's going to get together, and they're thinking, after the New Year, it's just going to be a huge blow up of cases. Have you noticed more with your kids of high levels of flu cases?
Yep,
or
definitely
even
with the
at work?
kids. Yep, definitely with the kids. The flu cases are not there at work yet.
Okay.
We usually see that in January. Usually kids come home for personal families, whatnot, gather at Christmas. Staff bring it in January-ish, or residents have gone out to spend time at the holidays with their families, and they come back with it. So January, we usually see the flu. But I'm seeing it in the schools just with my kids right now. I just mentioned my oldest daughter sits with like about 7 kids, and it was her and one other yesterday at lunch because the rest were all home
All
with
up.
high temps.
Is that because they haven't gotten flu shots?
I suspect that is the case for those kids. We've gotten them, so I'm going to just hope that. I mean, obviously, the vaccine does not prevent you from contracting the flu or COVID or any virus of that level, but hopefully it'll just buffer the symptoms. But it's hard to tell. Both my girls have stuffy noses, a little bit of a headache, and you're sitting there saying, do I do
Well,
a
what is
COVID
it?
swab? Do I take you for a flu test? Like, where are we at?
Do nothing.
Or is it just winter and the air is
Yeah,
drying?
it's just the way it is.
We've got snow coming, so it's normal in my household for that to. It's that time of year.
Are you seeing it at Navigant, Tim, at the home office there in Smithfield?
I've heard of it happening with families of employees, and sometimes that puts a little added pressure on them. But we have a few people that are out,
Yeah.
and that adds to the pressure of open positions and things we've talked about needing to hire folks. So,
Yeah.
when you start getting sicknesses and you throw illnesses in there too, and then people are taking 2 or 3 days off. And we want them to. That's the other thing. Please don't come to work. If you're not feeling good, we don't want you to spread it around. So stay home. So one side of us is saying stay home if you're not feeling good, and the other side goes, "Oh, you're home. That's unfortunate because we really need you."
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. But like everything else, a little bit
Sure.
of a spike.
John, what do you see at Lincoln Town Hall?
Nothing.
Nothing. You just don't go there.
Wow.
Those people are tough in Lincoln. They
So
just
far,
cut 'em.
everybody's fine. It's,
Oh,
They're in
okay,
a
good.
bubble.
I haven't heard a lot of chatter about it. I'm sure it'll come, like Melissa said, when you go through Christmas and the families all get together and you introduce new groups that come from out of town and in town, and they all come back to the office, and in January it all collapses.
Yeah.
Actually, the one that concerns me more is the other stories I'm reading, because I just read one yesterday about the resurgence of so many of these diseases that we had vaccinations for, and with the anti-vaxxers and the access being denied to vaccines for younger people because of COVID, and they couldn't be here or be there to get this shot or that shot. So at first we heard about the resurgence of polio, and now I read about the resurgence of the measles.
Yes.
Wow.
Is coming back, and these are all things that were virtually wiped out. And of course, you're doing it in a population that's now reached 8 billion people in the world.
Yeah.
It's going to present.
It's a
new
it's a
challenges.
byproduct. I mean, COVID really did some interesting things societally, I think. But one of them is there were conversations when we were masking up that people there. Some folks were real upset that we were forcing people to mask everywhere for everything, and those people in healthcare, no less, were saying, this isn't going to end well, because what's going to happen is your bodies are now going to not be able to handle a viral load from anywhere. And you're going to be exposed to it, and you're going to get it like that.
Yeah.
And it could be bad. It could be worse than COVID. You never know. And I think that's what's happening. I think, my wife works in a school system, so the kids are they're just catching everything.
Yeah.
And they're coming in.
And it spreads quickly,
and of course,
too.
it was the kids who were forced to wear the masks
Right.
the longest.
That's right.
And of course, they're the ones that are.
Which is odd, because they're the
Getting
ones
sick
that didn't
quickly.
get COVID. They didn't get COVID the
Well,
worst.
and I think the science has proven that, they should have just, if anybody was going to be left with masks off, it should have been the kids.
Right.
Yeah.
If the teachers felt they needed to wear a mask, but not the kids. Let them spread it around and deal with it, because they'll be over it,
Right.
and they'll develop their
Well, going
And I
back.
think,
little immunity.
No, I was just going to go back to our very healthy debate, which we had several healthy debates over the course of that, especially the first year of the pandemic. But the moment the vaccine arrived, I think we all collectively agreed, okay, 6 months past that point, everyone gets their shots. 6 months past that point, that's when it was time to really take that opportunity. This has carried on too long. I shared with the guys here that we're still wearing masks in healthcare. A lot of staff still wearing N95 actually, because they haven't been boosted with the most latest vaccine. And so just sitting in this weird spot of, for most of us, we have protection, and we should really be embracing this. No different than the flu for however many years. The 5-day quarantine instructions and everything for COVID don't apply to flu, even though flu right now is worse than COVID.
Right.
So it's all this very inconsistent delivery of messaging right now that we kind of need to get clear
And
on.
I think the problem is with the vaccine, if you've gotten vaccinated with the most up-to-date vaccine that deals with the most recent variants, then if you're wearing a mask to protect yourself from getting it, aren't you really offsetting the benefit of the vaccine? Because if you keep yourself away from it,
Yes.
because part of the reason the vaccine will work is
Right.
when you get it.
Right.
And it makes the symptoms a lot more mild. It cuts back the impact on you, but it runs the process through your system.
Right.
Right.
Your body
so
gets
you
used
not
to
only
it.
get the benefit of the vaccine, you get the benefit of the antibodies that are in the
Right.
actual getting
Right.
COVID and going through it with very mild symptoms.
Right.
I would think it's to your benefit to take the mask off.
Well, teachers have immune systems like iron immune systems prior to this pandemic, and I think you're probably going to see, even with your wife, this is going to be a year of her being probably sicker than she's been
had
in
runny
years.
noses and stuff. Sure. Yep.
But I think that's just a really good testament to those kinds of people who are in the direct line of kid germs all the time, and they used to be so healthy, regardless of what was in front of them.
I wonder if the scientists out there that look at the data and say, well, when you wear a mask, you don't get sick. Great, of course, because to John's point, you're preventing the germ from getting into your body to some degree.
To a certain extent.
So yeah, masking works. You should do that because you won't get sick. But everything else that goes, it's like they don't see anything else. There's nothing outside of that little bubble of let's wear a mask because you won't get COVID. Great. But you're going to get every other disease at some point in time when you take the mask off, because none of those diseases have gotten it either.
Right.
So yeah, you're really healthy with the mask on. So is that the end game? Just wear a mask forever?
Forever. Yeah.
But then I'm curious about, not just immunity towards viruses and exposure to germs and everything like that. But let's say, for example, like I get cancer. Like, what is my ability to fight off anything at that point? Not just viruses and things of that level, but, really tragic conditions that,
Right.
whether it's heart disease, et cetera, your body's weakened in a sense. Maybe not, you could be a runner and work out every day, but if you don't have good germ intolerance built up in your system, how do you fight off things like that?
That's
So
interesting.
it kind of is a trickle effect. There's lots of angles you could look at it, but you're right. They're probably solely looking at the data that's just influenced by exposure, mask wearing or not.
The
I
data
like
shows.
I like to look at China and have them realizing finally that their effort to hit zero COVID by
Impossible.
locking people in their homes.
How is their economy
utter-
even
it's an
working?
utter
How
failure.
is
I
their
don't know.
mental health? I mean,
gonna be
gosh,
awful.
there's so many other trickle
Well,
issues.
when you live under a communist dictatorship,
I know.
Doesn't
How is
matter
it
what
to
your
begin
mental
with?
Let's
health
start
is.
from there. But
I
and
know.
the funniest part was when I saw that they did it in Shanghai, and I think the Shanghai metropolitan area is like 20 million people.
It's huge.
Come on.
Yeah, I
How
know.
are you gonna do this?
All right, we got to take a break here in the Coffee and program, and then more on this is coming up. But Melissa, time for a second message from the St. Antoine communities.
Let's see. Today is Wednesday. You all have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday until 12 to come on over to 10 Rhodes Avenue, St. Antoine residence, to take a stroll on our hallway, decorated beautifully by the staff members at Navigant Credit Union. We have 20 wreaths on display up for silent auction. They're beautiful. They're catching a lot of buzz. And honestly, the intention of this project when we started it 5 years ago was never to raise a ton of money. It was really to dual purpose, maybe raise a little bit of money, have some fun money in our pockets to do some creative activity planning. But it was really more to bring spirit into our hallways and to really welcome outside visitors into our building to see the hard work being done by the staff at St. Antoine. So our silent auction is wrapping up Monday at 12 o'clock. So if you haven't had a chance to swing by and place a bid on one of the wreaths, I encourage you to do so. I have to tell you, so the plan is that we are going to be rewarding the branch with the most with the wreath that got the most bids. But I kind of feel like changing it to the most creative wreath because I'm not sure if you're aware, Tim, but there is a wreath with a lobster on it, and it is hysterical. And if anything, it's catching the most amount of attention as people are walking through the hallways. And
Not a
maybe
real-
hysterical
not a-
would be an
Maybe it's
insult
too
for the
most
branch.
creative,
I'm not sure,
most
but
financially beneficial.
we'll have to come up with
It's
something.
a stuffed lobster, right? It's not a real
It's
one.
not.
right?
I'll bring up the picture and
Okay.
flash it in a little bit, but it just has definitely created the most amount of like conversation. And so maybe that was the intention of that branch was like, let's just throw something random on a Christmas wreath.
That's an awesome
And
one.
it
It's
happens
red,
to
it's
be a
red,
lobster.
red and green. So there
It
you
is
go.
catching some high bids. So,
Okay.
anyways, but thank you to the generosity of those that are participating in this. We always appreciate it. It'll be fun next week on the air to be able to share which wreath won and to reward that branch accordingly.
And by the
So-
way, we've had a lot of people in the back office area of the credit union a little offended that they were not allowed to participate. So we may have to expand this program even further.
Well, we
Next
did
year.
talk about 5 years ago. We, on the heels of very successful. Now, our staff used to be the ones that decorated these wreaths, and Navigant took over this project for us, and we're very grateful because
Your staff is busy.
Yes,
Let
we're
them
very busy.
deliver.
But we did on the heels of our very first silent auction. Do one in the spring around Easter, and we did spring wreaths, and it was kind of a nice transition. So maybe we'll come up with something
why
clever
not?
surrounding Easter
Eggs.
time. It doesn't have to be bunnies, but it could be anything, floral or spirited along the signs of breaking out of winter. So
Cat
we'll
and
talk.
chocolate eggs would be great.
Very
Break
good.
out
There
of
you go.
something, Break out of eggs.
Yeah. All right. More coffee ads
Egg
coming up.
decorating.
766-1240 for comments and questions.
You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger. Something better, like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate.
Did you know you can shop local this holiday season?
And ski and ride free till December 24th.
Shop at Mountainside Ski and Ride at Wachusett Mountain.
Spend $100 or more and get a free lift ticket good through Christmas Eve.
Located in the Wachusett Beach Lodge, Mountainside guarantees lowest prices.
Check us out on the web at wachusett.com.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
ON Radio.
All right, it is Coffee In here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here, along with Tim Draper, Melissa Smith, John Ward. And I just want to get everyone's opinion on this because I think it's a good idea that they're doing. And maybe Woonsocket Police are doing it too, John. I'm not sure. But we have the story today. Tiverton Police have decided to reach out to their community and said if you're ordering stuff online and you're just not happy or you're scared to have stuff delivered to your home when you're not there, you can put the billing address of the Tiverton Police.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
And they will accept it in, and you just go pick up your stuff at the Tiverton Police. I'm like,
That's
that's
a
a
great
great
idea.
idea.
I don't know whether they've done that, but what I have, I mean, wasn't it a few years ago that Amazon set up pickup boxes in certain
did.
stores?
They
Well,
did.
Amazon.
Kohl's, I think, was
Well,
have it
Kohl's is
delivered.
an Amazon return.
Turn. Yep.
No, I know, but I thought a couple of years ago they were setting up pickup spots.
Well, there's the
where you
Amazon
have
lockers. There are lockers.
They
I think in Whole Foods. There's
okay.
lockers in Whole
Which is
Foods
what they
and
own.
All right. But that
don't
might not be convenient for
Well, what a
everybody.
great idea.
No, I'm saying if in many communities they may have these Amazon lockers and close to them, but that's a great idea. For the
But you're
police
saying all
department.
packages, not just Amazon. So all deliveries.
Well, yeah,
All
it's not
deliveries,
just
yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you order from, I don't know,
So what
you know,
would the police-
Walmart,
they was-
you know.
Target, Walmart.
Yeah, those guys.
They just have a place in a
Kohl's.
garage where they have somehow figured out a logistics systems that as they come in, they put them in the D's for Draper. And
Yeah,
then when you
and,
come in, you say,
I guess you guys got to show your ID. And
Right.
No, it sounds
That's-
like a great idea.
It sounds great. It sounds great for parents like me who are tired of gifts showing up on the doorstep. And I know they're trying to go green and save boxes, but when you order your daughter a Keurig, for example, and it's on the front doorstep in a Keurig box, not in a disguised box from Walmart,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
then you're frustrated. So I could see maybe this is a nice alternative. So they're all delivered there, and then when your children are not with you,
Right.
and you can
No,
go pick up things
swing
in a
by the
more
police station.
discretionary manner, not just worried about
it
theft.
It makes perfectly good sense. I have Ring doorbells and a neighbor who's retired and watches the neighborhood, so I don't worry too much. But
Oh, so you
All
just
right.
need a
Well, next-
neighbor that is perched on the
good
front
neighbor.
porch, watching
he's-
out for the
he's
neighborhood.
observant.
That's good, but not every neighborhood has that.
My wife calls me
But
Gladys.
no,
Kravitz,
that's what I'm
so-
saying. It's a good idea because not every neighborhood has that.
Yeah.
and not everybody has Ring doorbells with cameras.
Right.
Is this neighbor like Clint Eastwood and what was that
Yeah.
Oh,
movie?
the old guy with
Gran
set
Torino?
on his porch.
Gran
That's
Torino.
a
Have
great
you
movie.
seen that
That's a
movie?
great movie. Yeah.
Several
love that
times. I love
movie.
that
I'm
movie.
just wondering if I'm picturing that as your neighbor.
Well,
Clint Eastwood does some really.
if you,
some of his best stuff has been when he's older.
Yeah.
Right, it really has.
If if you're in conversations with Chief Oates,
I will. No,
just
I
says,
will.
hey,
I'll-
did you hear what Tiverton's
I'll-
doing?
I'll look it up and find the link.
Of course,
and
you know,
forward it
you
over
got to
to
have space and to
You
do
do,
it, and you
right.
got to set up a system and like that. But I thought, what a great idea because sometimes the deliveries don't happen till like 8:00 at night.
Right.
I said you can't. Well, it
Yes,
just can't be every business because then it just still be outside.
I've
Yes.
actually, where it's Amazon, I've seen a notice come up on my Alexa saying the package has been delivered and it's 10:00 at night.
Yes.
yeah. So
and
they're
I've
just
had
busy.
one that did that at 5:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I have
Yeah.
too.
Wow.
Yes, and it drives my dog insane.
Oh, I bet.
Yes, it does. Wakes up the whole house.
All right, well, all right. We need everybody's opinion on this one. And we'll start off with Tim. All right,
Why, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, there's lots of people camping out at the State House. Should they be allowed to stay there or not? The state said get out. ACLU came in and said nope, they can stay.
Let's start with Melissa.
Or
No.
now the ACLU is involved. And they said they should be able to stay
Well, like, you know
because
what's
it's
frustrating?
it's a protest
Yeah,
now.
you know what's and that's what's frustrating.
Okay.
It was starts off with people who are homeless and they're there. So the governor says, "All right, we have a bed for you. Come with us. We'll get you off this street."
Yeah, but I
out of this
don't
tent."
want to go there.
Right. I want to go to a hotel.
Yeah.
Because that's the
Well,
ACLU's.
that's better.
They will have to have something that's comfortable for them that
Yeah.
they will feel comfortable in. Like, wait a minute. They were in a tent on a
a-
stone walkway a minute ago.
Marble.
Yeah.
And now you're going to marble. Now you're going to at least give them somebody a bed
I wanna
and,
be at the Biltmore.
and food and the shelter. And it's turned into
And a bathroom.
and a bathroom. So it's turned into from, hey, this is a really unfortunate situation. We should really help these people because everybody sometimes needs a hand up. I get that. To nope, now we're just being petulant. Now this is a protest. We want hotel rooms for homeless people.
I've heard even more. One of the homeless guys doesn't want to go to the shelter.
Right.
No, I want a house.
Yeah,
Or,
right.
or a home. I forget how he said
Okay,
it.
we-
I don't want that place.
Right.
I want something better. I'm like, we're just going to give this to you?
Right. Yes, that's I think what people want. That's
All
what the
right.
social warriors want.
Melissa, thoughts on
I
the
agree with
encampment?
everything Tim said.
All right.
I just think what it's going to boil down to is a lot of these people don't want to be processed. They don't want to go through the check-in process of actually being assigned to housing because that's going to come a social worker and all the other, resources that are going to need to be piled on top. There's going to be accountability and responsibility. They don't want that. They want to make choices for themselves. They want to have that in-out option. So I think it's going to continue on for a little bit because this is where we're at. We all think that they should be very appreciative of an offer that's being given to them
That is
right
true.
now. But that's because we don't understand it from their perspective, and that's what they want to assert themselves on. So here we go.
All right, John, you're the politician here, so
I
is
didn't realize I was sitting among such conservatives,
is it
radical right wingers,
but is
hardline,
Hey, I'm
mean
neutral, but
spirited-
on this
I never
topic,
said-
spirited.
I never said it. I'm not. This is not
Hateful
about the people
people.
who truly
so
need
give
the
them
help.
the hotel.
No,
where are
this
you
is-
at?
I'm giving you a sense of what happens if you actually said something like that on Twitter or Facebook.
Oh my
and
God.
the
My
attacks
opinions
you would
are
have
not the
coming
opinions.
at you.
but has it become an official protest? It didn't start as this.
I think it has become an official protest.
All right.
And the problem with the situation is, as they said, there are some people with mental health issues and alcohol and drug addiction issues that though you offer them shelter, if they spend one day in there, they'll be thrown out because they don't act appropriately, they don't do the things they're expected to do, because there are social norms that are applied to them when they go into a government-sponsored or a nonprofit-sponsored shelter. Same thing happens here in Woonsocket. Even if there's empty beds, somebody's going to stay outside because if you put them in that room, then somebody's snoring is going to bother them. They're going to beat them up.
We just had
Can't
that.
have
So we
that.
had that story about a month ago.
can't have that.
Someone pounded on the wall.
So, and then
anyway,
the other reason that it may be possible to move them eventually is for public health reasons, because yes, they're defecating all over the State House lawn. They're sitting up on the rail at the State House and going on the grass. You just can't, and there's no place for them to shower. So
there's no showers.
they have to deal with the health issues associated with it and the public health issues. So there's a reason to move them, but there should be a place to move them. And I just read an article in today's Providence Journal where Joe Saccarci is talking about using this money for developing homes, and he's talking to local housing authorities about expanding development, and
Where?
he's talking about changing zoning so that you can
Where
have
do we build
more
these houses?
concentrated housing, obviously, in the cities that can't afford them. What do you think? That's where
Oh,
they always
they're
go.
coming up here?
What do you think they're going to do? Go to Foster?
There's a lot of land.
There is,
It's-
but they're talking about more densely populated urban areas, so that a lot of, and you got to face it, when they tear down a three-family house in Woonsocket, generally a single-family house goes up. That has decreased density. There's been more expansion on new construction with very little multifamily housing and apartments, and mostly single-family homes. Now, there's going to be Sacred Heart is going to be developed. The middle school is going to be developed. But that's all retail housing that's going to be going for anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500 a month for rents.
So should they be?
So that's
kicked,
not affordable.
Should they be kicked off the State House grounds?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Melissa,
it's
should
not-
they be
it's-
kicked off the State House grounds?
It's not sanitary. It's not safe.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
Tim?
my black and white.
But,
But there's a
black
lot.
and white, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know the reason they say, oh, it's public land, is our land, we do what I want with it. And then I've also heard the arguments of going to the shelter. Well, I can't bring my dog, or I can't bring my spouse. It's only for men. And
Let's
it's
put
like,
that to the test.
Okay. What test? Let's bring your
Narragansett
dog.
Town Beach is a public land.
Okay.
Let's put them on Narragansett
beach?
Town Beach with their
Okay.
tents.
A little chilly, but all right.
Or Scarborough.
Right. Public
Right.
land.
I guess what
The buses
confuses
run to
me.
Scarborough, don't they?
Well, they do in the summertime.
But you know what's not there? The governor. That's
Oh,
why we
that's
do it at
right,
the
yeah.
State House. It's because it's right there, front and center, and everybody sees it. And
So, defecating in public.
We're against that.
No, I know. I'm against it
illegal,
too. But
isn't it?
that's what I was going to say. So
think?
I used to drive Dexter Street every morning to my job for 15 years in Pawtucket. And there was someone who had just defecated in the middle of the road, and he was arrested. Oh, it was in the middle of the road. It was on the sidewalk, but whatever. We were at like a stoplight, and everyone was watching, and this gentleman got picked up and arrested and put in the back of a car. How and I believe that is illegal. So how is this not illegal? But then, of course, it goes back to they're all going to be arrested. How many people are being arrested? Where are they going to house them? Where are they going to go? So I don't know the solution. But even you talking about housing, there's still some conforming that would need to be done. And how many people are going to be assigned housing, conform to the rules? It's a never-ending cycle. So you're just still not tackling the problem.
Well, they only gave them one option. You all can go to the Cranston Street Armory, and that was it.
Right.
And they go, we don't want to go there.
It's the same thing with welfare. I mean, that could be a whole nother, we can go into lots of different topics, but it's that whole responsibility if you're on welfare that you have to pursue employment and show evidence of attempts made to seek employment and get hired, et cetera, or else you're not going to get your check. The accountability is just not strong enough, and nor is it effective enough. So I don't really know
The right answer?
the right answer to all of this, but it's
Well, there is no right answer at the moment. So.
a
It's
bigger
so-
problem
it's
than
such a
just
huge-
this,
It is.
than just
complex.
homelessness.
And it's going to go
It
on.
always goes back to that problem of we have rights, except some people interpret.
They have more rights?
Well, it's just that if you have a pure right, it has absolutely zero impact on somebody else's pure rights. If you have rights where something then is provided to you, you must have an offsetting responsibility. And when they talk about having rights, they may have the right to do what they're doing, but it has to come with a responsibility to provide, to be safe for other people and to not impact other people's rights. So it loses its quality as a right in my mind, and the ACLU unfortunately has walked away from that kind of interpretation.
All right, break time here on Coffee and time of the weather forecast being brought to you by Splash See Safely.
Sunny skies today with a high of 36 degrees and a northwest wind up to 32 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, overnight low of 26. Thursday's weather increasingly cloudy with a high of 39. Thursday night rain. Friday, 100% chance of rain, high of 45 and an east wind. Friday night, more rain. Rain changes to snow before ending Saturday morning with that chance of rain and snow mix between 9 a.m. and noon. Partly sunny skies later in the day with a high of 41 Saturday. Sunday, sunny and 38. Monday, sunny and 39. And Tuesday, mostly sunny and 38.
Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with sunny skies, we have 25 degrees. Clear your way this winter with Splash Premium Windshield Washer Fluid. It melts frost and ice like that. Find Splash Weather Repel at Walmart.
Thinking about going out of town to do some shopping? How much money will you really save? Think about the extra gas, the wear and tear on your car. And what about your time? How many hours will you spend chasing around trying to save a few bucks? When you stop to think about what it really costs you to shop out of town, you see how sensible it is to shop locally instead, with hometown merchants who work hard to earn your business. Next time you go shopping, invest in your own future and do your shopping right here at home.
One of our great hometown merchants is Phantom Farms, 2920 Diamond Hill Road, Cumberland.
Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal real special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogi with onions and dirty sour cream, or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported goods. We're open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 9 to 6, Wednesdays 9 to 5, and Saturdays 8 to 5. Follow us on Facebook to learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street in Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love. Hi, everybody. This is Dave Richards, and among the items we'll put up for bid on the Wednesday Milk Fund Radio Auction are a drinking roulette adult party game, a Santa tree topper, an AT&T cordless telephone, and our last Be Grateful ceramic pie plate, plus gift cards from KFC, the Beef Barn, Dunkin', McDonald's Executive Auto Wash, and 2 tickets to see Marie Osmond in person at PPAC, courtesy of Navigant Credit Union. So join me, Joe Callahan, and our special guest auctioneer, Adam Brunetti, for all the fun on the Wednesday Milk Fund Radio Auction from 4 to 5 here and only on ON Radio.
ON Radio.
All right, it's Coffee and here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Milk Fund Auction tonight at 4 o'clock. Please join us. At the Coffee and Table, we have John Ward, Melissa Smith, and Tim Draper. And Tim, time for your first message from Navigant Credit Union.
Thank you, Joe. Right now, if you're, it's Christmas time, so money seems to be going out. But after Christmas, if you're looking for a safe place to put some of your hard-earned savings, come to Navigant Credit Union. We've got a wide variety of savings tools that you might be able to use. We've got some very good high-interest CDs right now, and you can go to our website, navigantcu.org, click on the Rates tab, and you'll see all about those. We've also got great money market rates and just great savings rates. And for those young folks just starting out, we've launched our new Embark account, which is a digital, what we call digital spend account. So it's designed to give kids the opportunity to save some money in a way that they can't get themselves in trouble by overspending. We're going to give a debit card. They're going to have the accounts available to them on the mobile app and online. So just another great way for Navigant Credit Union to help all of our members improve their financial well-being, and that's really what our focus is going to be for 2023, is helping you navigate your financial well-being. So navigantcu.org, 233-4700 is our contact center, which, by the way, has moved from our building in Smithfield, to the old AT Cross building I think it's still Lincoln. It's Lincoln there, yeah. Beautiful place, but we've doubled the size and capacity of our call center, so our contact center. So if there's anybody that needs to talk to us, you're talking to somebody in the state of Rhode Island.
Nice.
Are you going to bring back the beautiful, landscaping on the front lawn that AT Cross used to do? Does anybody remember that? I lived not far from there growing up.
I think it looks nice.
People used to drive by and take wedding photos in front
I don't
of
think
their
it's gonna be
garden. So
quite
I'm just
that.
saying. I know
we're
I
renting
would
space.
enjoy
We
it.
didn't buy the building.
Driving to my parents' house,
not
I
our
would enjoy
responsibility.
passing that again.
All right, I wanted to bring this up to Tim because the financial guy here. The guy.
Avatar, the Way of Water is going to make?
No. Your friend and ours, FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried, was arrested in the Bahamas. The whole cryptocurrency guy. Where's Navigant's stance on cryptocurrency? Do you do anything with it? Do you see it as, yeah, we will, but in the future, or is it just mayhem?
So
right
it is one of those items that we carefully monitor. Right?
Okay.
We have some dashboards at work where we see what money goes out into the crypto market and what comes in from the crypto market. So we're trying to gauge, how much activity really happens in crypto, what age range of those folks are. It hasn't really risen to the level yet where we have to put on a relationship with an exchange and offer that service quite yet. But it is something that we monitor on a regular basis. Okay. And I think I've heard Ed Carew even say on the airways that there might be a place for crypto in a portfolio, but it's certainly not something you should hang your hat on. And I think what this kid did, I heard yesterday he was using QuickBooks.
I was going to say.
To manage the entire billion-dollar empire that he was running. I get QuickBooks.
Good for QuickBooks, though. A little promo on them, huh? I mean, they could do that.
He wasn't managing a billion-dollar empire. He was managing cash flow through to himself and the people he wanted to support while skimming investments off of it. I'm amazed at how many extremely successful people
fell for it, basically,
that sponsored this and fell for it and jumped in. Because, I take one look at the guy,
and I'm not spending any money with that guy.
Are you kidding me?
Right.
Tom Brady
Instincts
actually had
matter.
a conversation with his people and put money into this.
That's what blows my mind.
He's a good-looking guy.
He's a kid.
He is a
is.
kid. I know.
He's
exactly.
he's a kid, and
Yeah.
he doesn't.
You know, the problem is we went from a gold standard where you had solid something backing money to the full faith and trust of the federal government to the we trust the people of the world.
Right. And there you go. There's the
grunge.
people of the world
The
right
grunge.
there.
Multiple fraud charges, right? That
Yeah.
he was charged with yesterday.
Nothing,
And he made- you know,
nothing to insure it, nothing to back
No,
it.
no.
Right.
No
And-
assurance that anything will be there tomorrow. Just faith.
Right. And this is the
Wow,
this is the
this
big
like a
argument.
new church.
This is the big argument, the big discussion in our industry about fintech. So fintech are all these technology-based companies that are helping you manage your money, and you're investing some money with them, much like crypto. But there's no real government regulation on it. And I know that we complain about government regulation all the time because it's just overburdensome for some of the things that we do. But there's a real reason for it and a real need for it. And if you play by the rules correctly, then you're not going to get snake bitten by it. But these guys this is like watching the guy in The Wizard of Oz sell his potions to Dorothy before she got sucked up in the
Here's the
hurricane.
part I love. I drive down
What's
to
wrong with Dr. Marvel?
I drive down to Ashburn, Virginia, which is Loudoun County is not only the place where school systems fail, but the place where most major digital hubs rest. These giant warehouses full of servers.
Banks of
Banks and banks of servers with special cooling systems, and it is apparently, I'm told, 75% of the internet goes through Loudoun County, Virginia.
which is a
I didn't know
problem.
that. That is, it's. God.
Well, no, I asked about my son about that, being that he's in computer engineering and he knows these things, and I said, isn't there a risk to a electromagnetic pulse bomb dropped above Loudoun County from like 5 miles up to wipe out all these servers? He said, no. They build the buildings to resist
Withstand
the
all that?
effect of an EMP.
Wow.
Wow.
No,
Okay.
these are impressive structures.
Yeah, I
they're,
guess
and
so.
They're like
They will stand.
a vault inside. There are multiple sections. Either depending on the size, there can be anywhere from 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to a dozen of these vaults that you rent, and that's what happens. Amazon, Google, everybody. They'll rent their space and they'll fill the room with servers, and they have special cooling systems, and
They're safe.
they're safe. And
All right. Attack. Yeah.
but they're growing by leaps and bounds because of data mining for Bitcoin
Yeah.
and for cryptocurrencies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly what data mining is or mining for cryptocurrencies, but it involves huge amounts of electricity because of all of the effort put through these servers constantly.
Yeah.
And it's putting a drain actually on electrical systems.
Somebody put it this way to me, and I finally understood it a little bit better. I don't know if I completely agree with the analogy, but in the 1800s, miners would go into mountains mining for gold with a pick and axe, and they would find physical objects and bring them out, and there was value to that. In this case, data mining is nothing more than using a computer to go in and cut through a bunch of earth, figuratively, and find a number or a mathematical formula or something that really doesn't have any value right now unless people assign a value to it.
Right.
And that's what's happened with cryptocurrency. People have assigned a value, like, okay, I'll take your 200 Bitcoin for my video game. Now,
It's
the
electronic,
Bitcoin,
it's electronic bartering.
right? It's electronic bartering. Now, in order to make that happen, you have to have real cash to do it.
Well,
So I
yeah.
have to make a deposit into my FTX exchange of 25 or $100 in cash, and I then convert that to Bitcoin or whatever other cryptocurrency you want, and then I play the game with the crypto. And if I'm lucky, I sell it when the crypto's worth a lot more than the $100 I actually put in, and then I cash it out and get the $100 back. So that's why we watch.
Wow.
We watch what the outflow of money into the crypto markets and the inflow of money from the crypto market.
The question is,
All right.
like the Branch Davidian compound, when is the federal government going to come in with the tanks and
Burn it
put an
down.
end to this nonsense?
I
Because
don't know.
it really is. It's almost like a faith in something that's not real.
Right.
And I can deal with it if you're talking about divinity, but when you're talking about other humans as your God, which is what this is, total faith in other human beings, while monster machines are actually manipulating humans because people aren't doing that mining.
Right.
Other machines and artificial intelligence is doing that mining.
Right.
And it's doing it a million times faster than you could ever think to try to do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's not going to end well.
No, it's
I just
super
know
complex.
It's not going to end
and-
well.
I just remember there's an old Seinfeld bit where he said, "Oh, you should your money should work for you." No, my money should just sit there. I'll work. And my sits there and does nothing. I want John's opinion on this one. The state, state of Rhode Island, has said that it's okay. This is down in Coventry, that a Coventry firefighter can also be a Coventry town council member, and it is not a conflict of interest, and that's okay. You agree with that?
I don't know whether the Coventry Fire District is an independent district. If it's a separated district where they have their own board of commissioners to run the district and it's not tied to the Coventry town government, then I have no problem with it. If, in fact, it's a municipal fire district, it would be the equivalent of a firefighter in Woonsocket running for council and getting elected. That's not allowed by our charter, because you cannot be an employee of the community by city charter and be an elected official. So it would either be that it's a separate independent fire district or there's a flaw in the Coventry charter.
Nope. You got to. It's the former. The Coventry charter prohibits anyone with a town job from being on the council, but the firefighter is exempt because he works for one of Coventry's independent fire districts.
Yeah.
So then it's okay.
And if you work for one of the fire districts in Lincoln, you can run for
And that's okay
council
too.
seat. It's legal.
I think
Okay.
that's the same in Cumberland.
Because they have
Cumberland
their
has
own- they have their own
it's-
boards.
Cumberland's is an independent fire district.
Yeah.
Own taxing authority, you pay for that, and then so you could be on the fire. I think you could be on the fire board and you could be in the town council in Cumberland.
Yeah. Okay.
But, and when I worked for the Housing Authority in Woonsocket, HUD had a regulation that that I couldn't run for city council, I could run for school committee because of Hatch Act issues associated with the fact that in the very most basic relationship, HUD has a contractual relationship with the city of Woonsocket, and therefore that relationship prevented me from being on the city council and being in a position of making decisions about the administration, because I was a finance director there. So I couldn't serve two masters, as it were, and I was prohibited from running for council, so I ran for school committee and angered Susan Menard.
All right.
Seems to be a pattern.
Tim, it's time for your second message from Navigant Credit Union, please.
So this time of the year, folks, we have we celebrate with kind of suspending much of our publicity and advertising, and talk a little bit about some of the things that are meaningful to us as a credit union. And one of those things that means a lot to us is family. We like to think of our staff, our team members, our employees as family members, and as such, we celebrated the other night down at the Crown Plaza with a super Christmas party or holiday party, and had a great time. You know, we had 400 people, and it was just it was a time to celebrate them for doing such great work and providing our members with the great service that they provide them. So we gave them a night to celebrate. We also celebrate our members, who we also consider our family. And by that, we try to do right by them and try to provide them with that member experience that they're not going to find anywhere else. And then the last part of that tritium there is the community in which we serve. And the Navigate Credit Charitable Foundation just issued another $122,000 worth of grants into the community, which will be paid out hopefully here by the end of the year if I can get my ducks in a row. But that'll conclude this year's $422,000 worth of charitable giving. Two of those grants were here in the city of Woonsocket. One was for the Stadium Theater, and I'm forgetting the other one. Oh my goodness! Anyway, I know Stadium
I can't
Theater.
fill in the blank for you. I'm
Wow,
I'm trying.
I'm old. I know. I'm sorry. This is what happens when you get old. But yeah, we try to support as much as we can here in this city and in all the other 39 cities and towns that we call home. So Navigate Credit Union, 233-4700. The word of the season is family.
Very good, Tim. More of the Coffee and program coming your way. 766-1240 for comments and questions.
Times change, but the great traditions of the Christmas season return each year. This is Attorney Peter Hopkins extending my best wishes to you and your family. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and please remember to support the Milk Fund. My office is located at 191 Social Street in Woonsocket. If you need our services, please call 356-1043. We are a full-service law office where everyone is treated with dignity and respect.
We're here on the floor at Family Discount Furniture, corner Social Street and Diamond Hill Road. I'm standing with all these different beds and bedroom sets around us, and Brad's standing next to me. Brad, tell us about this thing, and you've got mattresses galore.
Yeah, so our mattress lineup, we run a bunch of different ones from different vendors. We actually have all different sizes, twin, full, queen, king. We run adjustable beds. We have memory foam, cooling gel, ultra plush. We have something for everybody's needs.
You got the ones that articulate, that go up and down, or the ones that just lay there because that's what you do.
Oh, yeah, sure. At the absolute lowest prices around.
I see something that people can't buy when they come to Family Discount Furniture. There's a sign right over here in the bureau that says Best Mattress Store.
So we were actually voted Reader's Choice for 2022. Best in Business Mattress Store. Our mattress selection is very, very good. We have something for everyone, like I was saying before. And remember, Dave, we offer a 90-day, no credit needed, $49 down, have now, pay later.
That's Family Discount Furniture, corner of Social Street and Diamond Hill Road here in Woonsocket.
Romeo here, just to say thanks to all who are donating to this year's Milk Fund auction. And it looks like this year's appeal is turning out to be a smashing success. On behalf of the auction committee, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude, of course. We rely on the generosity of all who are donating, especially those who are making cash donations, to allow us to purchase those ever so popular gift cards and certificates. If you'd like to help us out, you could send your checks to Milk Fund Incorporated, 985 Park Avenue here in Woonsocket, Rhode Island, with the notation Milk Fund Auction on the memo line. Thanks for your help, and may your generosity bring you the blessings of the holiday season.
All right, it's Coffee and here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Tim Draper and Melissa Smith and John Ward. And Tim, what was the other you gave money to?
I am so sorry, Ann Conway. It was the Museum of Work and Culture. We supported their big spring gala. Actually, not their spring.
She could teach you to speak French.
Oh, I know she can.
Man,
she's terrific
good.
at it.
Yeah.
All right, John, I need you to give your favorite line from the Guinness beer commercials.
Brilliant.
All right, there's a man out of Boston. He's on the 12th floor. He's in an apartment. He has a corpse inside the apartment with him. The police come pounding on the door.
So far, so good.
Okay, so far everything. The police come pounding on the door. He decides to make a run for it and jump out the window. All right?
That can't end well.
2 corpses to deal with.
No, he got hung up on the window, and the police just grabbed him, pulled him back in. Brilliant. And so now this man, he'll be arraigned today. His name is Michael Perry. He's being charged with assault with a dangerous weapon. Maybe he just went after the police. This all happened on Sunday in South Boston. And
when you say a corpse, that's not like saying a murder victim or something.
Well, we
like
don't know that.
So
We don't know that just yet. So
is it something he's aging or something?
we don't. Like they said more details
like
at
Dahmer for aged beef.
More details at the arraignment.
Oh, please.
Okay, so that'll be coming up a little later.
I can't wait till we get to the 2nd year of the Idaho murders.
Oh my God.
That is just going on and on
I don't
and
think they'll
on.
solve that part. Do you think they'll solve that?
Eventually, but
they will.
Now that it's
Someone
getting
knows
silly
something.
because now they're reporting and because got to report on something. Oh, we think it was a dull knife that was used. Okay, this is just you guys are really stretching for what to report on.
The one thing I've heard that's interesting is that apparently one of the victims was much more severely
stabbed than the others,
and brutalized than the rest. So the suspicion is that there was a target, and
the others
then
were
the
just
other
there.
3 just happened to be
nearby.
One nearby right there, and the other 2 may have walked into the room to try to help, and they became victims also.
Don Burnell asks me every day, have they arrested the boyfriend yet? Not yet. He goes, you'll see. That's going to be it. And Don is always right on these things. It's astounding. All right. Other things that are going on.
Don is astounding. If you've ever sat across the table from doing an interview, Don is astounding.
All right. So this is a bizarre story close by, Cheshire, Connecticut. More details being released after a Hamden, Connecticut police officer was arrested, placed on leave. He allegedly hit a woman with an artificial Christmas tree.
How do you?
All right.
Is it a big 7-foot Christmas?
The victim is the victim is the live-in girlfriend of Sergeant Patrick McHugh, and the incident took place over the weekend at the home they share. And she says he hit her in the back with a tree after an argument, but McHugh says he only knocked the tree over into her.
That's an interesting.
The woman told officers who responded to the scene that she was worried they wouldn't take her complaint seriously because he was a cop. So, but apparently they have, and it doesn't say. Is this a 7-foot tree?
There's a lot.
Is it one of those? Is it one of those 3-foot ceramic trees? That's artificial. But if I just knocked it over. How many people just knock over? Attention. Oh, that's a good one. All right. Other things you shouldn't do, John. You say brilliant on this one too. Memphis, Tennessee police are looking for a man who allegedly stole a car and then sold it on Facebook.
Brilliant.
Gee, they won't catch me.
Well, did the owner try to buy it back?
Good job.
That's a good question. The 2014 Nissan Maxima was stolen from outside a residence in Memphis, Tennessee. It was then sold the same day for $5,000.
Oh.
Not a bad price. The buyer told police they found out it was stolen when they tried to register the car.
Think they'll get their money back?
I don't think so. The images of the suspect have been posted online. Anyone with information is urged to come forward to the Memphis police. So they haven't arrested anybody for this, but and now this guy's out a car and $5,000.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Nope. And you want the good story, Melissa?
I would like one.
Just throw her a bone, would you?
A cat. All right.
I'm sitting here waiting for it. I'm like, please.
All right.
You're always going to get at least one of these.
Turn.
All right.
It is the holiday season.
A cat
Okay.
missing for 10 years is reconnecting with his long-lost family.
How do they know?
10? How do they know it's the same cat?
Yeah.
There's more to the story. Hold on.
I don't know.
I'm waiting for the.
In 2012, the Price family of Miller Place, New York, their cat Mimi went missing from their Long Island home. And after searching, contacting vets, and posting signs, they thought they'd never see Mimi again. Just recently, Mimi turned up at a Brookhaven shelter. I don't know if that's on Long Island. Is that on Long Island, anybody? Brookhaven shelter, famished, covered with matted hair. Doctors treated Mimi, who looked like she'd been through quite an ordeal, and thanks to her microchip,
Okay.
they discovered her former owners had since relocated to Spain.
Oh, my goodness.
Now we're going to put her on a boat. When
my
contacted,
goodness.
Richard Price said he was both elated and horrified that Mimi was unwittingly left behind after she was lost. She's now recovering with a relative, and the Prices plan to come and get Mimi and bring her to Spain and live a very happy life.
I don't know if
Well,
she's
she's
going to be
11
very
years.
happy with them.
Wait, how old was she when she was lost, and how old is she now?
Right.
It doesn't say.
A lot of money to go and get a cat and bring it back to Spain.
Yes. So you figure, the cat's 1. It's now,
Okay,
11 or
that's-
12 or so. And how
But
long
if
do
it
cats
was
live?
2 or 3.
It doesn't. It
Too
doesn't
long.
say.
We had one live 20 years.
Really? Okay.
If it's an indoor cat, they can.
This one's not an indoor
an
cat.
outdoor
That was an outdoor cat? That's impressive.
Yeah. Was it a fighter?
Yeah, look, it had some street cred.
No, it was more of a hunter.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Well,
It would
there you
bring-
go.
it- Bring in all
It
kinds of great
would
stuff.
come home often with birds and mice.
Because I had an outdoor cat.
Because there was some evergreens in the neighbor's yard. And
Yeah.
The cat would get up in the branches and wait for the birds to show up.
Ooh, smart.
At night,
And then pounce.
well, at night they want to go in under the branches
Yeah.
and keep out of the weather. So the cat would go up the tree and wait in the branches, and the
a smart
bird would
cat.
come in to settle down for the day, and boom.
Wow, smart cat.
Very smart cat.
But I've had an outdoor cat that would come back like every 6 weeks with new scars. We had no idea what this cat was doing.
Street fighting.
With something.
Breeding.
I'm like,
Cage fighting.
it would come home. It would sleep with us for like 3 days, eat, and then it went out
You would,
again.
I'm sorry. You would let the cat in and sleep with you after being out in the.
Was it a male?
It was. I'm not. I don't know. It was really my mother-in-law cat.
Okay.
So this is what it was. Her, not. I was just living at the house. Hey, there's a cat outside, and they said Harley's here, and they got all excited. It's like,
And you're like, what?
oh yeah, that's our other. We had 3 cats. That was the other one. This is mostly a real outdoors cat. We figured it just went from home to home. It had other families that it just visited. But it was really rather an inexpensive cat.
And it was a he?
I think so. Harley could be. I'd have to ask my wife.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah. So have you heard of this guy? He's down in Houston, Texas, and he's a millionaire. He sells, and he got his fortune selling mattresses, and he bets on Super Bowl and World Series and Stanley Cup. But he takes like $10 million in order to guarantee that he will win. He's got that much money. You haven't heard of this guy?
Nope.
And he sells mattresses.
Yeah, he's in other
sleeping.
furniture, but he's known as Jim Mattress Mac. Mackinvale. All right, that's his name.
That is
And,
a southern name if I've heard it. Jimmy Bob Mattress Mac.
So if you want the inside scoop,
Texas version of the Cardi brothers.
yeah.
Yes.
If you want the inside scoop, he's betting a lot of money on the University of Houston to win the NCAA men's tournament this year. All right, he placed the $1 million cash bet at the casino in Houston, Texas, during the casino's grand opening. Caesars Sportsbook says the Mac bet on the Cougars, that's University of Houston, to win the men's final at 8-1 odds. All
Is
right?
it basketball or football?
This is basketball.
All right.
If Houston wins, Mac will score $8 million. His $30 million payout from the Caesars Sportsbook for the 2022 World Series is the largest win on a single sports bet in legal sports gambling history.
Wow.
So he knows what he's doing. He bets enough money to actually almost guarantee himself a win.
Yeah.
And to at least get his money back.
And there's no shady underground.
It's
No.
Vegas. Anything can happen.
Yeah,
Houston.
players on those teams get a little
A little
side money
on the side there.
to throw the
Sick
game or
today.
No, I don't. Throw the game.
just
No,
saying.
I don't-
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be towards the winning players. It would be towards the
Right. Yeah.
opposing team that
No, but
loses.
that's your inside scoop for today. If you want to go bet, look for the
That
University
was
of
not
Houston.
the high story I was looking for.
So, did
the
you
end
wanna-
on a high story.
Well, all right. The cats have been missing for 10 years.
The cat was
your
okay.
Feelings about Putin and Ukraine.
There's a KFC employee in St. Louis that got shot because KFC ran out of corn.
Well,
Yep, that's a.
I'd
There
be
you go.
upset about that too.
What do you mean? You get that bowl? That's tasty, by the way. That bowl of chicken and mashed potatoes and corn. That's
Is
delicious.
it good?
It is
Okay.
really good.
I'm gonna take your word for
Yeah,
it.
I mean, it's incredibly unhealthy, but it is
Used
really
to be a
tasty.
$5 bowl. Is it still $5?
I think it's
closer to
six.
6
I
or
think it's
7?
6.
I always worry when your food comes in a bucket.
Well, not that one.
Galvanized.
You don't want a bucket of
I'm
chicken?
gonna get a trough of food at the KFC.
Hey, listen,
there are
don't knock
people
it. I don't have
coming
a
in
kitchen
behind
right
us.
now.
I
That
know.
might be what we have for Christmas.
Come on over Christmas Eve.
All
I'll
right.
feed you.
We got to run, so thank you very much for listening in. Tim Draper, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Joe. Enjoy the God-given day, everybody.
All right. Melissa, thanks for coming in.
We will see you guys next week.
Very good. And John Ward, thanks for coming in.
Avatar out this weekend.
Ooh, yippee. All right, this is Joe Callahan. Have a great day. Community Care Alliance is next, followed by Gary Smith and the crew. Do you remember Milk Fund Auction at 4 this afternoon?
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
The Tiverton Police Department have an idea, and it might bear some scrutiny in other places. They're offering a safe package program in an effort to thwart porch pirates. Until Christmas Eve,